Hello, back again with another video. Just out in Finsbury Park at the moment, and I got myself very muddy. I went into a little swamp thing, so I'm gonna have to wash my trainers because they've been ruined. So yeah, I remember back in the days, when I was growing up, going to school, not that far from here. And I remember those days when I used to be young. If you didn't have the nice shoes, or if you didn't have the nice clothes or the fresh haircut, people will bully you. Like you will get cussed out. People will look at you and they will make fun of you. It goes, oh, look at him. Look at his jumper, look at his t-shirt, look at his trousers, look at his shoes. And I remember every day when I used to wake up, and I remembered that every time I used to come to school, sometimes I wished that I could skip school. Sometimes I couldn't wait until I left school. So all those things will come to an end. And I always remember that every single day, I remember I used to ask myself a question. Why did these people always used to outcast me? Always try to think I was the easy one, and they always like, let's bully him, let's pick on him, let's make his life a misery, let's make his life a hell. And I remember going for years and years and years. And I remember throughout my whole life, no matter ever I went in this life, I always knew that for me, I was meant to be a lone wolf. I wasn't meant to be with others. I meant to be the one that always walks alone. And I always remembered that those days of growing up, there was only like one friend I had, and that was the only thing I had that got me through the hard times. So I realized that when you go through these type of things, it changes your perspective, how you see things, how you see the world, how you see people. It makes you like close off to everyone. You don't really trust people. So when you go through certain things, it literally makes you like a different person. So sometimes I wonder who I would have been if these things never happened. But sometimes in life, there's always got to be that one who has to be the bully and the one who has to be the bullied. So I was the one who's being the bullied. So as I was growing up, it was a very hard one to make it through life, because you always wanted to know, what did you do wrong? You always ask yourself. I didn't trouble anyone, I didn't say anything to anyone. So you always ask that question, like, why is it always me? Why is it always me? And then after all these years, you get older now, and you're like, everyone moved, all them bullies moved on, had women, had kids, they're all living good lives. And you're like, hold on a second, how does that make sense? But sometimes it's just how it is, innit? So like, when you always think about these type of things, the first thing what comes to your mind, if you focus on the things that happen, then that's all you're gonna see and that's all you're gonna receive. So if you focus on hatred, then hatred is all you're gonna receive and it's all you're gonna get. And as long as you focus on that, that's all that's gonna keep coming. So as growing up in life, I always knew that I was by myself. So sometimes it's just how it go, innit? So I realized that sometimes you just gotta see things for the way they are, and you have to just move on in life. So that's how it can go. Sometimes life don't go the way you want it to go. So life is always gonna happen in the way you don't want it to go. But it is down to you as an individual. Can you hack? Can you handle those trials and tribulations? What comes at you? So in the end of the day, when I think about it very carefully and I look at it like that, sometimes it's just like, you know what? You just got to take it how it comes. So sometimes it's not easy, but sometimes it's just how it is, innit? So if you're alone, no one not like you, no one care for you, you ain't got no one in your circle, then you just have to take this out on your own by yourself. Even when I left school, went into college, even in college the same thing happened. The same bullies was there. Told the tutor said, oh, you're a man, deal with it yourself. I told him again, he said, oh, you're to blame. So sometimes in life, for certain people, sometimes some people was, I don't know, it's safe to say, was fated like that. Some people was just fated to face that. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, it's like, oh, you're the only problem here. So as I grew up, I realized that like time is slipping away and we're getting older. One day I woke up and I looked at my life and I was like, where am I right now? I'm here standing in the park making this video, but really and truly this video never should have happened. But due to circumstances, now I'm making this video. So going through this stuff of being bullied and stuff like that, the only thing I learned in life, sometimes you just have to like let some things go and you just have to keep going forwards, and you just got to do what you do. Sometimes you just have to accept the situation for how it goes. So even back in school, that matter was in the area you was growing up, I always knew this. So in this life, I always knew that no matter how many years go past, I know that I'm a person I always have to walk alone, because not because I want to, but the way how the situation in life is, it's like you just have to. So from this moment on, I just have to do what I can do, and there's nothing else I can really say except for like just take it how it is and just try to make life better and just improve. Sometimes in life, some things wasn't meant to happen, so you just have to find different things to focus on and do that. And when your time come, you just move on to your next life, and you have your next trials and tribulations you got to deal with then, and you go through all of that, you go to next life, next life, next life, next life. That's it. Like, what flows in flows out, and what flows out flows in. That's what this is. This life is like a needle through cloth. So that one needle that goes through, it's like this life. You come out, you sew back in, that's you coming in the next life, sew in, and as it goes out, you leave, you come back into a new body, you leave, and so on, so on. Life is like a sewing needle. You flow in, then you flow out, flowing someone new, you flow out, flowing new again, flow out, flowing someone new and again. And that's how life goes. Because energy can't be destroyed, only transferred. So that life energy just going on and on and on, animating all type of things. So, and in the day, I just have to learn how to live a good life, learn how to try to smile a bit, if I can, and just keep it going. So, sometimes, like, even if I look at it now, what difference did it make when I had these clothes? Now, back then, when I was in tracksuit before I threw them all away, I was like, oh, I got the night crepes. Then I looked at it carefully, I goes, it didn't make me any stronger. It didn't make me any smarter. It didn't make me no wiser. So when you put on all the clothes that everyone used to wear, oh, I got this. When I put them on, I was like, nothing hasn't changed. So I was like, when I wore these clothes, then the question you ask yourself, they're bullying you over this. And when I looked at it, I was like, that's pathetic. Over that? When you put all the shoes, shirt, and you have access to the clothes that these people are wearing, you realise they don't even mean anything. It's meaningless. So I was like, you started bullying over what? That. And I was like, sometimes it's just how it go, innit? So that's why in this life I have to be strong on my own. I gotta move strong on my own. It's me out here versus the world. So it's me versus all the enemies. So that's it. So all I have to do is keep it moving and do what I gotta do. So got the bike over here, down there. You see it right down there by the tree. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is just jump on the bike, make a move out of here. Need to go home. I need to wash my trainers. And then tomorrow I gotta get up and I gotta pick up a few things tomorrow because what I'm looking for wasn't there today. So that's how it go. So sometimes in life don't go the way you want it, but sometimes it's the way it is. So you just gotta leave it like that. Sometimes it's the way it go, yo. Sometimes you don't like it, but sometimes it's how it is. That's what made me strong. That's what made me tough. That's why when people challenge me now, I'm more harder to break now, because I went through all the hardship. I've been toughened up. Now I'm harder than iron. Like I'm harder than steel. Like I'm harder than aluminium. I'm harder than diamond. I'm harder than crystal. I'm harder than anything right now. So all that hardship that I went through younger made me strong. So all they did was make me strong. At first it looked like a curse. Oh, why me? Why me? But as you grow up in life, it actually turns out to be a blessing, because it made you strong. And even though it wasn't nice, it wasn't good, it's like they molded you into something that was strong. Now when anything happened to them now, they're the one was weak. When they crumble, they'll turn dust. While I'll always be standing strong like a rock. So sometimes it's how it go, innit? So I just leave it as that. Now I'm gonna make my way out of Finsbury Park and then make my way back home. This is filmed on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, 512 gigabytes of memory. It's got 12 gig RAM. However, the speed of the RAM was not being specified, so I don't know the speed of it. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor in it. So it's a pretty good phone. It's got the 6.8 AMOLED display, Quad HD, 500 pixels per inch, what's known as the PPI. So I got the 12 megapixel camera, got a 50 megapixel, got a 200 megapixel camera. I got another 12. So with my phone, I have a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a total of 5 cameras on my phone. 5 cameras. So yeah, man, this is how it go, innit? How it go. This is how it goes, boy. So sometimes you just have to take it for the way it goes. So that's how it is. So sometimes, right, you just gotta be strong in it, and that's all I can say in it. So sometimes it's just how it go in it. So they say the strongest survive and the weak perish, but the one that makes it to the very end is the one who's the strongest. So just how it go in it. Just how it go. Finsbury Park. What them say?